In every single competitive sport, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, the real soccer, or maybe tennis or chess or whatever, there are always going to be legends of the past and legends of the current or the present, whatever you want to call it, right? Right now, Dish Soap, Setsuko are like the two big names everyone keeps talking about, right? The absolute fucking goats of North America, easily, indisputably the top two, right? But there are legends of the old guard, and today we're gonna go over one of the old legends, none other than Mismatched Socks. So anyways, we're gonna go over one of his videos today, one of his VODs, and there's quite a lot to learn from, and I think this guy is quite a treat to watch. So anyways, let's get on to today's video. Okay, so here we go. We are inside of Socks' game. Now, this is a first for this channel. We've never actually VOD reviewed Socks before, and one of the major reasons is because I didn't know much about this guy until very recently. Turns out this guy's a fucking beast, but I just wasn't paying really close attention to pro play at all until about set 7.5. So I was really behind the curve, and guess what? This dude won first place in set 7's Astral Cup, apparently. I had no fucking clue. I didn't even know that was a thing. So, like, apparently this dude won first place in Astral Cup, but also he was like one of the best players apparently during set 4, according to Joe Bookmark, who I was talking to about Socks earlier. So this guy's kind of a fucking beast. Like, I believe he was like rank 1, like 2000 LP or something like that. Like some like absurd amount of LP, like absolutely unfathomable amounts of LP. Just insane. Anyways, picking up the Lilia Chosen here with the +2 Sentinel. Not my favorite Chosen by any means, but it's definitely a cop though. Fortifies your front line a decent amount with the +2 Senti, and hey, with the cannon as well, we are 2 out of 3 super fans, so hopefully if we find a Gnar somewhere along the line, we can definitely lean into super fans if possible. Looks like we were given a 5 component start, so very AP centric, by the way. We're just gonna pause real quick. Looking at the components right now, it's like very clear you're playing AP in this game. Shojin JG, it's just very, very clear. You can look into other lines as well, maybe like the IE, maybe like Adapticon, I guess, but it's definitely Shojin JG in this spot, and you want to lean AP. Try to lean into AP units as the game progresses, and it seems very fitting, especially because we're 2 out of 3 super fan. Going into the 2-1 augments here, Cluttered Mind, you have my bow and Escort Quest. Now, personally, I am super fucking biased for Cluttered Mind. I fucking love Cluttered Mind. The reason being is because right now, the meta is very fast 9. It's fast 9, try to hit the Lucian Ziggs Bard and just fucking flex anything in your front line, just put a pile of shit up there, and everybody else in the back is gonna do some work. So Cluttered Mind basically allows you to go fast 9, but also because you're holding so much shit on your bench, you're able to flex into whatever is your strongest line. You're given a bunch of options that are available to you whenever you're playing Cluttered. So I'm a huge Cluttered Mind sim. It's like my favorite augment. If I see this at 2-1, I think it's an insta win because it's my favorite. Obviously though, just based off the AVP, because we do have the meta TFT overlay that is on because I guess Socks uses it. Escort Quest is averaging a 4.15, super fucking strong. The 23rd, I guess, best gold augment. I believe that's what that number represents. Over 6,200 games. So definitely want to lean Escort Quest here just based off the AVP. But again, Cluttered Mind seems to be totally kickable as well. You have my bow. I mean, it's all right, but you are definitely leaning AP this game, so it's not really that great to have bows to be working with and trying to kill them. So we reroll middle, get emotional connection. Not that great unless you're playing Annie, and even then, I don't even know if it's that great with Annie reroll. Magic Wand, which maybe there's some level of justification because you can maybe slam like Shojin with, I believe, Gunblade J. No, what would it be? It would be Shojin. You have Rod, maybe Spark JG. Makes a lot of sense. I can see some level of justification for it, but we don't have any AP holders at the moment. So Escort Quest is going to be our way to go. And the AVP is just so much better than Magic Wand. So Escort Quest. Now, Escort Quest is like, and it's fucking interesting. This augment's super fucking interesting. And the reason why is because this augment basically says you get to play like Bebe. You get to level aggressively, slam shit as much as you want because you are trying to win every single fucking fight. And not only are you trying to win it, you're trying to win by a goddamn landslide. You want to make sure that this dummy goes untouched. Protect the fucking president, right? So yes, even though we don't have any AP item holders at the right now, sure, we do have the Bard. But Corki 2 with a Shojin JG, it's fine. Just think about it. He uses Shojin just fine already, so that's not a problem. And then JG, it's like IE but worse. So it's good enough. Good enough. Bebe level to level 5 here, and then we are throwing in the Garen here with the super fan. Really prudent to be leveling to 5 here because our level 5 is super impactful, giving us super fan with the adapting cone onto our Lilia here. And again, the goal is to try to 5 streak, right? But as you can tell by the pace of this fight, it's not always gonna go your way. Ends up losing the streak here already. If this was Dish Soap, he's probably screaming into his microphone. No flame, by the way. I've just noticed bro hates like losing streak. Like streak really matters in the early game. Part of the reason why is because econ is so important, right? The idea is that right now the meta is super fast 9. You want a fast 9, try to tempo, try to hit that level 9, try to hit the Bard, the Lucian, and the Ziggs. Fucking cap out with your board with the legendaries and call it a fucking day. Take your first, go next. The thing is though, is that when you lose your streak, and not only are you losing a bit of HP, but you're losing a little bit of that economy to try to hit those interest thresholds to try and start generating up the money in the bank, right? But because we are Escort Quest, sure, mixed streaking is not ideal, but it's fine. It's like, it's okay, because if we do win some, we'll get it back. And that's what Escort Quest is all about. Here, excuse me, Jesus Christ, this is the biggest fucking burp I've ever had. That's not TMI, it is not TMI. Very prudent, by the way. Sells the Corki here because he realizes the Corki with two items is barely doing more damage than the Ezreal, so he decides to sell the Corki and then slam the items onto the Ezreal anyways, and slams the Declaw on the Lilia as well because that gives us a little more extra gold because of the realm that we're in. Bebe levels to level 6 on 2-5 like an absolute Giga Chad, and then this motherfucker loses. He lost, but you know what's great about this? Ben does not give a shit. Bro's chilling. He doesn't care. So I love that a lot because I think personally as a player, I tilt all the time, and I paused the VOD for a reason, but I'm getting sidetracked. But I get tilted all the time, so if this isn't me in my spot, I'm hitting my desk. No cap, it's really bad. But anyways, I paused it here for a reason. What would you do? Welcome to NBC's What the Fuck Would You Do? In this spot, we have an Ahri and a goddamn Seraphine in our shop. What would you do? Because we have AP components, what would you do? If this was me, let me tell you what, because I think you're probably thinking the same shit that I'm thinking, okay? In this spot, I don't know, you can't see this. I'm touching my chest a lot here. I don't know why. I just recently this motion has made me feel like I'm commanding something. I don't know why. I don't have a good explanation. But anyways, in this spot, before I got disgustingly sidetracked, I would sell the Ezreal and the MF. I would. In this spot, I would sell Ezreal. Well, maybe not the MF. Maybe the Taric. But I would get off the Ezreal regardless and slam this shit onto this Ahri unit plus the Seraphine. Gives us 3 KDA. I think that's pretty fucking good. And I think that means our board does a lot of damage. Right? We don't have Spellweaver in, but that's okay. So like, Spellweaver's kind of whatever. Like we'll take it in eventually. We'll find it, right? I think that's stronger. Please tell me if I'm wrong, because Socks in this fucking spot picks up the Ahri, ponders, scouts, thinks about it, drops the Taric, puts it back on for whatever reason, still thinking, bro didn't fucking do it. He did. I feel like he should have. I feel like the board is much stronger. Obviously, he's a significantly better player than me. Miles. Bro is way better than I am. So if you think that the 2 big shot is better than having the KDA stat bonus, I'd argue it's close. I'd argue it's close. But if you think it's actually that much better, then fucking correct me. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. But I was fucking baffled when I saw this. And there's a lot to learn. A lot to learn watching this guy play. I just can't. I have a hard time believing that that's right though. Plus, we did also get the Kaisa out of the orbs from earlier during the neutrals, right? We had a bunch of KDA going around. I'm feeling the KDA, bro. I don't know what this is. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can tell. I've been on TikTok a lot recently. I've been doing. I don't know what the phrase is. I don't know what the phrase is. You see, it's Pookie? Like, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. 3-2, before we get completely sidetracked, this commentary is fucked, but like, this is like the 4th take. I'm not doing another one. Buried treasures, tiny, roll the dice. We are playing Escort Quest, right? Let's bring it back, We're playing Escort Quest. what would you take in this spot, right? You might think it's buried treasures. You might say it's buried treasures. Buried treasures makes a fucking lot of sense because this portal gives us money every time we slam items, which is super nice. We're looking basically at 6 components plus, what is that, 3 times 2? Like 6 gold. 6 components for 6 gold. That's a lot of fucking value. You know what else is worth 6 gold? Winning twice with Escort quest. So, if we lose 2 rounds versus just not losing those 2 rounds, right? We're better off. Does that make sense? I feel like I did not explain that very well. The point is, why would we play for later when we can just play for now and Escort quest will reward us? You feel my drift? You catch it? So, it ain't Tiniest Titans. There's no chance in fucking hell. It ain't Buried Treasures, even though it does make a lot of sense, and I can agree with you there. But he decides to reroll over both, which he gets Blinding Speed, Determined Investor, and I'm gonna be real. Determined Investor, when the fuck has anyone ever picked up this augment? This augment's shit. And then Blinding Speed, maybe some level of argument because we do have Ari that's like sitting around. Maybe Ari Ezreal is like maybe a potential board we can play. I'm not really sure. But Blinding Speed, maybe some level of value, but roll the dice. Roll the fucking dice. This augment is so goddamn strong. You get 2 full ass radiant items on anybody you want and just have a good ass time. Jesus Christ, what the hell was that? Bro pumped money so fast, I almost didn't see it. I like blinked and it wasn't there. So we leveled to 7 here. Fucking ridiculous. Levels to 7 here, and then puts the Rascal Gloves on the Misfortune, which is pretty interesting. I think the idea here is that this Ari probably isn't going to do too much. So Big Shot is just better with the MF, but also because I believe this MF is very, very temporary, especially because we're not going to end with AP Ezreal on our board. So just keeping the MF as a holder, good enough, and then we'll pop it off, put it on somebody else, and until then, maybe we hit an MF2, and then we're chilling. Go back, and I had to figure out where the fuck to keep the commentary going. It was about the Escort dummy. I was like, oh wow, the Escort dummy, like who the fuck puts it in row 2? Like who puts it in the B row? Like nobody, because like holy shit, Sox really cares about winning, right? He cares about winning and continuing the streak more than the 3 gold value. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I'm not gonna repeat what I said, but basically this Escort dummy was behind a particular unit was the joke. But then it came out so badly that I couldn't find it in me to keep the fucking commentary going. I've never done that before. Like say something so fucking out of pocket that I was like, holy shit, I gotta go back and rewind it. Anyways, glad we're here. What the fuck did he take? He took a rod. Perfect. Brilliant. Slam Gunblade. Super cool. So already our AP items are looking fantastic. We are sort of chilling in a really, really comfortable spot here. This is going way too fast. So sitting pretty comfortable in a really good spot with a bunch of AP items, and we have the Rascal's Glove on our Seraphine 2 here, which is super nice. Picks up the Echo Pair as well, and again, is this on 4x speed? What the fuck? This is the, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm watching like my entire life flash before me. It's a lot to take in. But anyways, not much to really talk about, but we are playing our strongest board, 5 KDA. We do have the Kaisa who's on our board here, and again, excuse me, we're chilling with a JG Ezreal, but it's fine. It's totally fine because this is gonna be like, this is our strongest board. No, there's no way to go about it. It is what it is. It's pretty unfortunate though that we actually lost a streak here. So it is, you know, I was about to say it is what it is, but like what the fuck, that's not commentary. But we're finally getting rid of the Lilia Chosen here, which is super nice because we know we're probably not going to be playing around it and maybe even roll potentially a little bit on 4-1 on level 7 to just try to find a better Chosen to play around. So here it looks like we are given the Amumu right off rip, and that's honestly good enough. Amumu 2, it's a Guardian, it's strong enough. We do already have the Nico on our board, so it does fit onto the board here. So if it wasn't an Amumu, let's say it was like some other weird unit, I can't think of anything that wouldn't really work too well in this certain scenario. But like quite honestly, like you just put any fucking 2-star unit onto your board here that makes sense, and we're being chilling, we're good to go. So as you can see here, we are down to 4 KDA instead of 5 because we did drop the Lilia, which isn't amazing, but hey, this is still our strongest board. It is what it is. Going now into the 4-2 augments here, we gotta start thinking about, okay, what's our game plan, right? 4-2 augment hits, what's our game plan? We right now don't have that much money. We have money, but we don't have that much, where 4-2 is a little dicey. Like, do we really want to hit level to 4-2? It's hard to say. Like, you really want to 4-2 it with like no money? Like, I don't know. I'm down to 4-5 to be completely honest with you. Sure, we are playing Escort Quest, so if Sox does actually decide to level here at 4-2, I'm gonna be kind of sad because I was wrong. But I personally think you can just sack to 4-5 it and you'll have infinite money to work with. But anyways, Portable Forge, Uplink, heavy hitters. None of these are that great. Uplink is sort of the only one you'd want to kind of lean into. It's definitely not portable or heavy hitters. Portable loses a lot of value as the game progresses. A lot of the strongest Ornn items right now are gold generating ones, so things like Goldmancer Staff, Diamond Hands, Gambler's Blade, right? These are things that are great in the early game, but as the game progresses, it loses a lot of its shine. So that's probably also why you see the stats and the average of Portable Forge going down as the game progresses. Definitely much more of an early game augment, at least based off the current artifacts. Bulk is great. Bulk is actually one of like the best performing cybernetic augments, so I would personally definitely be leaning Bulk here. But I guess Sox has other plans and decides to go for Uplink, totally fine. Does decide to actually level to 8 here with very little money to be working with, but finds the Z2 and says, okay, good enough for me, levels to 8. I guess I was fucking wrong. And he's playing around a Z2 on his board. Again, I guess an upgrade's an upgrade, but again, it's so interesting to watch the way that this guy plays because he's so flexible, right? I personally would look at this Z and I would never slam a GA on him. Never in a million years would I slam the GA. Because I'd be thinking to myself, like, holy shit, it's a Z2. This unit is fucking dog shit. I don't know if the microphone picked up me farting, but if it did, I'm sorry. You can't smell it. It's not your problem. It's mine. But it's so interesting the way that the Z is just like, it's just here. Like, who the fuck picks up a Z chosen? Not me. I mean, that's probably why I fucking suck. But, like, dude, like, it's so interesting. It's so flexible, right? And that's the beauty of set 10, right? There's a lot of shit going on right now on Twitter about like the whole like, you know, like, ooh, set 10 is like not a good set for like the casual player. And you know, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that in a later video. I've been thinking about talking about it for a little bit, but I'm still on the fence. I feel like Sub-Zero covered it pretty well. I'll link his video in the description if you want to go check out what he has to say about it. I don't have too much to add, but maybe I'll make a video about it. Anyways, back to the game. Decides to think about, okay, what do I want for like my third Z item here, right? And ends up going for the Last Whisper. Again, tempo slamming, again, even though it's like fucking stage 4 or 5. Last Whisper is fine. It's not like amazing by any means, but now we're kind of married to the Z here. And this is kind of why I'm not the biggest fan of picking up like a Z chosen, especially itemizing for the Z, because these items are fucking terrible. Last Whisper, GA, did this guy fucking sneeze? Bless you. Last Whisper, GA, Gunblade, right? These are not like, you don't think of this as like, oh, BIS, it's like not even fucking close. I think these are like A-, B+ tier items at best, right? It's not great, but for stage 4, 5, we're now level 8, we're 30 gold, it's 4-6, we're going 9. We've preserved so much HP at this point that we can just go 9. We're cruising at this point. Obviously, like, people are starting to spike their boards pretty heavily at this point. A lot of Karthus Akali players, a lot of people who are playing around a bunch of 2-star forecasts because they decided to roll on 8. Except for this guy fucking playing, what are you doing, Metalheads with KO reroll, XDD. I mean, this was very early on in the set, so, I mean, cut him some slack. Star Fairy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I don't mean it. But, anyways, sitting on 40 gold here, we are fucking chilling. We're sitting on a clean 50 now. And again, I am not the biggest fan of this Z. If this were me playing this game, I am selling this Z chosen, picking up this Karthus immediately. Fuck this Z unit. I would just start item slamming onto the Lucian here, and I would just play this Karthus. But no. Bro's got other plans. He's saying fuck the Karthus, fuck that noise. Why don't I just keep going? Why don't I just keep pushing the limits? And we're playing an REZ board. What is this concoction of a board, right? It's fucking weird, but it's working. And that's the beauty of it, right? And again, Sox is a very, very flexible player, and he knows when he's looking at his board and like out in the lobby being like, hey, like my board, it seems solid enough, right? Crazy, because like, look, the board, bro, replay, world champ, by the way. Fraud. Not fraud. He's actually very, very nice. He doesn't say a lot of nice things on stream, but he's actually a nice dude. I think. But no, he is. But bro had an MF3. And then this guy just got fucking ran down like the absolute degenerate. He's not a degenerate. Sorry, it was a donkey reference, okay? I'm sorry. But the point is, listen, play flexibly. If you play flexibly and keep an open mind this set, right? And especially with like the tempo slamming and trying to preserve your HP. Because if you are preserving your HP heavily, you are more than likely able to get to 9 pretty comfortably. And once you're 9, eventually and slowly start pivoting out of your whatever concoction of a board that you've decided to create, and then slowly but surely pivot it into the Lucian, into the Ziggs when it starts to make sense. We already have a Lucian on our board here. We have the Bard ready to go. Just need a Ziggs, a Lucian 2 or a Ziggs 2, and we are being chillin', right? But again, this board, super tempo oriented, but it's totally getting the job done. Wow, that was close. Jesus Christ. That bro had a Lucian too and he almost won. That's so, like, again, like, it's when you open your mind to, like, the different possibilities that are being thrown at you, it's so different. The game is so fun to play, and you get to play such interesting wild lines. And again, like, shout out to Socks. I remember watching this game thinking, like, wow, this is so cool. Pick up the Gintu off the carousel, super nice. One of BIS for Lucian, I believe. Starts to roll a little bit here because we do know that, like, hey, our board is kind of janky here, so we do want to try to slowly find some upgrades if we can. What am I, fucking stupid? Like, why am I stuttering? Anyways, doesn't find a lot here. Stops before breaking 10 because, I mean, if we break 10, we're never making it back. But still, pretty much chilling overall. KO reroll, everybody. Wahoo! But anyways, KO reroll going 5th, and it's already a top 4. And just look at the HP difference, by the way. Because we played flexibly, because we played into whatever was thrown at us, because we slammed into these different lines that were potentially given to us, we're level 920. We're level 920, 65 HP. Who the hell's catching up to us, right? We are so far ahead. We're basically a top 2 at this point. Mathematically, it's basically impossible for us to go anything lower than a 2nd. So we're already sitting really comfortable, and now the name of the game is how do we play for first. Also, his Ari's not in the KDA hacks, please sir, thank you. How do we play for first, right? And again, we've talked about this before. And actually, if you watched the last video of the cluster stuff, you would know. It's Lucian Jazz with fucking Bard. But there are other ways to cap out here. Units like the Kiana 2. Units like Mordecai, that's not Mordecai, it's a Yorick 2, right? We have a lot of different options that are available to us that we can consider. And it makes life really easy. GA onto the Kiana, super nice. Not my first choice. Actually, we should probably rewind it a little bit, see what are our options here, because I was just too busy yapping. Titans, Runans. You know what? That was kind of your best option. All right, I'm down for the GA. Double GAs on the board. A little awkward, not playing not today. Just happen to have 2 GAs. Totally understandable. Really interesting, by the way. You might notice the Bard positioning. The Bard is on the top right. It's in B7, which is super interesting. But the reason why is just basically it's kind of a shitter. It's a bit of a trait bot. So you can just have him just chill there up there with all the tanks and everybody, and it's kind of okay. Just takes aggro before your main carries do, and that's totally fine. We're sitting on 57 gold now, which is a lot, and you have to be asking yourselves, like, okay, can we go 10, or should we just roll and try to upgrade our board? I think that because this was pretty early on in the set, Socks opts to not roll at all and tries to go level 10. But if you ask me, and you ask most people, level 10 is like pretty fucking fake news. The only benefit to level 9 that is like very substantial is the fact that when you're level 9, what the hell is going on? When you're level 9, the odds for the 5-cost headliner goes up exponentially. It's so much higher, so it's a lot easier to find like that free 2-star 5-cost, but it costs so much to get there anyways that you have to really ask yourself, like, is it really worth it, right? If you ask me, I think most of the time, level 10 is really not it, especially when you can just cap out at 9 most of the time and you're pretty much chilling. The odds for legendaries at level 9 are not that much, like, they're not, like, bad by any means. So it's definitely, like, plausible to try to hit that Lucian 2, that Ziggs 2 when you're level 9. Here on the carousel, we do see that the Lucian is available on the carousel, so we are probably going to be rolling down here to try and cap. Nope, just kidding. Bro went level 10. Jesus Christ, and goes for the Sona Chosen. That's not right. You cannot convince me that is correct. This Sona 2 Chosen, I mean, bro is so flexible, man. Like, maybe it doesn't work. Yeah, this Chosen Sona is just not very good. Again, this is like from the early on in the set, so, you know, Socks is, you know, bro's learning. But yeah, this fucking Chosen Soda unit is just not very good. But anyways, that's gonna basically do it for this VOD review. The video kept going, so this is very awkward. This is now very meta, and I'm not a fan of that. But anyways, that's gonna basically do it. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys learned something. I apologize if this VOD review seemed all over the place. I realized I haven't done one of these in a fucking minute, so I feel like I kind of forgot how to do it. But before I was rudely interrupted, thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys very, very soon. And until then, I will talk to you all later. Take care, guys, and happy climbing.